Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, today I want to take the FIMI X8 SE 2020 edition up for a test flight because just a few days ago FIMI released a firmware for the flight controller that's supposed to adjust the gimbal calibration to be able to supposedly help correct the ever-present horizon gimbal tilt that this drone and pretty much all FIMI drones seem to be subject to. Something they've been working with for years to correct. So I'm of course pretty skeptical that it's going to make any difference in the drone, but I want to get it up in the air today and see. So I'll make sure I include a screenshot of that firmware. It's just a flight control update, so it shows you the difference. I'll have a screenshot of what that firmware is and the description of what the firmware says it's supposed to do. So I want to get it up, just see if we see any difference. I did get a peek at Marcus over Idaho Quadcopter's video just before I came outside here, because we were talking about this the other day, and of course we both were going to want to film a video, but he obviously got his film first. But it looked like there was still some tilt in his video too, so I don't expect it to resolve it, but it did seem like it was better. So we'll have to see how it works for my drone, because with all FIMI drones, these problems are not the same for everybody. One person may have a bit of tilt, another person's drone may have a ton of tilt. Just like my FIMI X8 Mini has 0 gimbal shakes, and other people have terrible gimbal shakes. So my horizon could be fixed today, and Mark's might have a bit of tilt. Mine could still be just as bad as it was before, because when I would fly it in the past, the gimbal would really get crooked at times, especially when you do a lot of yawing or side-to-side movements. Yawing seemed to not only make it bad if you did a really quick yaw, but yawing usually helped and also correct it if you did a slow yaw and just give it the gimbal time to kind of even out and correct itself. So what I'm going to do is we'll get this fired up. I don't think I'll have to do any compass calibration, and I'll get it connected to the app and take it out, and I'll probably just use some audio where I'm talking here, but I'll probably just go to the onboard video and just have some narrative over the top of it. And we'll just see how this guy does today and get it out there and fly it around. Again, I'm curious to see if this drone's going to have any improvements. So let me go ahead and get this all connected. This has been my first time flying on the FIMI Navi app on my new phone, so I may have to go through and set some parameters and turn off beginner's mode, or I think that stuff's saved in the app, though it could be saved to the drone and it relays it back. So I'll have to take a look at that and see. So let me get that set up, guys, and we'll be right back up to take it out for that test flight. All right, guys, so I have the app and the controller connected to the drone. Now, I had some trouble getting the OTG connection to my new Pixel 4a phone. If you have troubles, especially if you have Pixel, restart the phone, then plug the cable in, and then it should see the app and load it up. Very strange. But the biggest thing I noticed that's odd is I cannot get in the video settings here the resolution to change. If I go to 4K at 30 and back out, it looked like it may have done something there, and the screen is flaky. It just keeps resetting to 1080p at 60. At least that's what it says in the app. I was able to, you want to make sure you change the video quality to high, which I already did, and I haven't set the HDR mode. I don't know if that'll work. HDR's fake anyway, so it won't really matter. So I'm just going to record it in 1080p at 60. That doesn't matter. That's a good frame rate, a good FPS, but it's going to match my head cam. It's just, we want to see if that gimbal in Horizon, is it really crooked or is it any better than it was in the past? So let's go ahead and get it up in the air. I'm going to start recording video here. I've had some trouble at times getting this darn app to want to record. See, I'm pressing the record and it's not doing anything. I've also had it disconnect a few times, so I don't know what's going on here. Again, this seems to be some sort of a weird issue with this app and this phone. So just 1 second, I'll get the video to record here. It's just no sense you guys watching me hit the record button 10 times. All right, guys, so I got the video started now. You have to sometimes switch to photo and back to video, and then it finally started recording. I don't know what's up. All I can say is the Pixel and this stock version of newest Android does not seem to be very stable with the FIMI Navi app. So next time I fly, I'm going to use my LG G8 to be able to record this, because this is just not working well. I've had it disconnect, and we'll see what it does. At times it sends to really act up. So let's go ahead and press the auto takeoff, and get it in the air. Let's just see how that gimbal looks. Now there's a lot of glare right now. The sun is relatively high still. I just want to fly it out over the field here. Just see how this gimbal looks. Let's level it out here. Let's tilt it down a little bit. Have it up an awful lot. And let's just yaw around. Looks pretty good there. Again, this is just to test that gimbal out. I'm going to kind of yaw awfully quick here. I'll fly it out this way a little ways. So far, just looking at the FPV feed, the gimbal looks pretty good to me. Let's park it out there over the field. Probably just gone to the audio over the video right now. So you guys, because there's so much glare on my head cam right now. Well, I tell you what, the gimbal looks pretty good to me. And I said, I did the, like I mentioned, I did the gimbal calibration. Well, that looks really good. I'm just spinning it in circles, guys, because that's usually how we see issues. The gimbal tends to, I'm gonna go really quick here. Man, that looks good. Unless there's something in the video that I'm not seeing because of the glare here in my head cam. Just looking, looking at my phone, that looks pretty good. I mean, if there's any tilt, it's very, very small. Now I'm looking around here and trying to figure out which way I'm looking. Okay, I'm going off that way. Flying it back over by my house here. It flies pretty good. Now it looks like there might have been a little shutter in the video possibly right there, but that also could have been the FPV feed. I'm not certain. Let's fly it off this other way. It's a little way here. And see how the horizon looks off that way. Again, I'm mostly interested in the horizon now. Be curious to see, is this being filmed again at 1080p at 60? I think it is. There's the Catholic cemetery. Let's see, is there any tilt there? That was so little, I don't know if that could have possibly been just the lay of the land. You know, there is some elevation changes in this area. There might be a little tilt right there. But boy, that's not a lot. Just go like that. I think it looks pretty darn good. The little bit I saw Marcus's, it certainly looked to me like he had quite a bit more tilt still than what I'm seeing here, unless there's something in the video that is just not showing up in the FPV feed. Here I come. Tilt it up a little bit more. The gimbal, I think it looks really good, guys. I think this is another case where FIMI's trying to patch up things with these drones, and they're trying to fix a problem that all the drones have, but not every drone has the same level of the problem. And whatever they did, it seems to really have fixed mine. Like, I don't see any tilt. So unless I put some notes up here of something I see in the video on the SD card, I'm impressed. I don't think I even need to do any more flying. We got a really long video. I mean, what else can I show you in terms of what it's doing there? Now, I don't have precision landing on. That's one thing in the app I wanted to change, but all these app issues I'm having on the Pixel, I didn't go through all the settings. But again, if you've got a Pixel, let me know in the comments if you have any problems like that, because I can't get the settings to save. And this is my first flight with the FIMI Navi app. Maybe they'll do an update to the app that'll fix that, hopefully. I think it could just be something to do with the version of Android. Being a Pixel phone is always going to run the latest, supposedly greatest version of the app. Let's just go ahead and do an auto landing there. It's kind of got bogged down in the grass. It's probably not the best on the gimbal either to land like that. But yeah, guys, I mean, I thought that it did really, really well. Again, I just need to figure out what's up with the Pixel and the app. So next time I fly this, I'm going to use my LG, because unless something changed, that one worked really, really well for me in the past. And I had no problems getting the settings to save. My kids are swimming and her friend here, and they're giggling and trying to interrupt my video, as the kids usually would do when dad's doing something they think is funny. All right, guys, that wraps up the video here for the FIMI X8 SE new firmware. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you click the bell too, so you're notified when I do upload new videos. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.